to my channel, Jamie Friend Colors. I'm Jamie, and today I want to talk to you a little more about this book by Eiry, A Journey Before Time or Journey Through Time. I'm not particularly sure at the moment. Anyways, this is Eiry's newest book, and I've noticed with Eiry's previous books, the Romantic Countries 1, 2, and 3, that some pencils work better than others. And I had this kind of planned as a 2-day video where I'll show you and go through it, but it just didn't work out that way. So what I've done is I have taken, I think seven of my different types of pencils, and I've tried them in this book, and so that's what we're going to kind of talk about. I've already done it, I just want to kind of talk to you about it. So this is the 2 pages. Ooh, okay, there we go. Well, and so what I've done is I've used my different sets of pencils. So over here I've used the Arteza, and then here are the Castle Art pencils and the Black Widow pencils. And then on this side are my Polychromos pencils, Luminance, Prismacolor, and the Holbein pencils. And I'm just going to tell you kind of what I thought about each of them. So I'm going to zoom back in and kind of show you each section. So this was the first section that I did. Sorry, I've had the flu and it attacks your respiratory system, so if I just don't sound the same, or I'm feeling a lot better, I'm just still trying to get over it. So this is the first set of pencils that I used in this book, and they might be my favorite. They laid down well, they layered down, they blended pretty well. I really liked them. I didn't have really any complaints, and I thought, oh, well, maybe I'm just making it up and that all pencils are going to be just fine in this book, and I've just kind of made this whole thing up in my head. But then I pulled out the Castle Art pencils, and while you can see I did get pigment on the page, it was so much more difficult. It wasn't fun to use. I just really had to fight to get the pigment down and to get it to blend, and it almost felt like there wasn't enough tooth in the paper to grab hold of the oil in the pencil, and so it was gliding across, but not. I just really had to work for the pigment. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, then I went to the Black Widow pencils, and so I'd worked on this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. It's taking forever. I don't like this. This is, but I did get pigment on the paper, and it did finally blend. So I was like, okay. And then I pulled out the Black Widow pencils, and these were great. Black Widow pencils are not my favorite pencil to hold. I just feel like they're really thin and really hard for me to just hold, and they're all black, and so I can't tell what color is what. But as for laying down pigment and blending, they were beautiful. They worked really nicely. I think I preferred the Arteza over the Black Widow, but they worked really nice. And then I decided, well, that was kind of our cheaper pencils. Let's get some of our more expensive pencils. And I'd used Polychromos, or I had attempted to use Polychromos pencils in the other books, and I had never liked it, and so I kind of picked this smaller one that I wasn't going to do as much with, and I'm glad I did, because it's just a fight. Polychromos is a beautiful pencil, but they take more layers. You have to keep layering to get it to blend. It's kind of how I think of it. You have those pencils like the Polychromos where you just have to keep putting light layers and light layers and light layers, and that's how it blends and builds up pigment. and works. And then you have pencils like your Prismacolors that are more waxy, and you kind of like lay down a few colors and then you kind of almost like mush the pigment together. Like you use a little bit of pressure and you mush the pigment together and it blends and it looks beautiful. In this paper, because I don't think it takes as many layers, it's really hard to use those pencils that require all those layers. It just gets to the point where, very quickly, it gets to the point where you just can't get any more layer on the paper. And so that's kind of what I found with the polychromos. So while I love them in other books, I just don't pick them for this book. The Luminance pencils are one of those that I feel like you can kind of mush blend. Mush blend, that's my own, I'm patenting that. So this one I felt worked better. I could put a couple layers down and then add some good pressure, and it would blend together and look really nice. So around the frame, I just did a couple layers of pencil and didn't like put any pressure, and so you can see how there's a lot of white space in there. But when like the shirt and stuff, when I really like put pressure in and really blended the colors, it worked really nice. So they did feel a little dry though, and that might just because my pencils are a couple years old, I don't know, but they did feel a little dry. The Prismacolors worked beautifully. So I didn't blend the background, but the leaves and the frame and everything, I did kind of that mush blend, and it looks great. And then I kind of just left the texture because I liked it and I was feeling lazy, and like I said, I've had the flu and I just didn't feel like it. But I could go back in with like a white pencil and just blend that and it would probably be just fine. But they laid down, they felt good. I was okay with those. And then these are the Holbeins, and they're kind of somewhere in between. And they're just a beautiful pencil. To be honest, I see the way they work are a lot like the Arteza, which you almost hate to say because the Arteza are like cheap, like 120 or whatever for $40 or whatever, and then Holbeins are $300, and so you hate to say that, but there's just a lot of similarities in the way that they perform. So with them, I thought they worked really beautifully on this paper as well. What I did do with the flowers and stuff is that I blended with a white pencil. So I put down the two different colors of red that I wanted in there, and then I took the white Holbein pencil and mush blended them together, and they turned out beautifully and I love them. Yeah, so I think they worked really well as two. So what I'm seeing is the pencils that don't require as many layers to blend were better on this paper. I just don't think there's the tooth in this paper for those pencils that require more layers. So I hope that helps you guys. It was really just interesting for me to see which of my pencils I preferred on this paper. So I know now that I want to reach for like my Arteza, my Holbein, or my Prismacolors would be the three that I would reach for the most in this book. The Luminance as well, I just don't use them very often. I just don't, but that's kind of where I am in this book. So I hope you guys find that informative and helpful, and I'm glad I reduced this down and just did one quick video for you guys instead of trying to show you coloring in all of them because it just wasn't working. So it would have been a really choppy, weird video. So I hope this was okay. I hope you guys are having an awesome week and weekend, that you find time to relax and de-stress. And yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you be here with us. I post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so I will see you.